New Jersey has a new $29.4 billion budget tonight. Governor Christie has signed his first spending plan 2 days before the new fiscal year actually begins. The budget makes sweeping cuts in state departments and key programs. 12 hours after lawmakers gave final approval in the wee hours of the morning, Governor Christie this afternoon made it official at a budget signing ceremony at a firehouse in Middlesex County. Christie says the budget starts down the road toward restoring fiscal sanity in a state addicted to overspending, but Democrats say it inflicts pain on the middle class and the most vulnerable while exempting the wealthy from their fair share. Some of the budget's highlights include an $820 million cut in education aid, a $446 million cut in municipal aid, the elimination this year of property tax rebates. The budget also calls for no new broad-based taxes. And State House correspondent Zachary Fink reports on today's budget signing.
Just hours after the State Assembly passed the fiscal year 2011 budget, Governor Christie held a signing ceremony surrounded by Republican allies in the legislature and members of his cabinet. The governor told the audience that 99.88% of what he presented to the legislature in his March 16th budget message is unchanged. It is Christie's first budget since taking office in January.
When Kim and I arrived in Trenton in January of this year, one of the things that we said was that we intended to turn Trenton upside down. And there were lots of people who at the time said they didn't know what that meant. They didn't know how you were going to do that. They didn't know what it would look like. They didn't know if it was possible. Well, I think today is the culmination of the first 5 months. And I think if Trenton's not completely upside down, we definitely have it by the ankles and we're shaking it.
This is a new day for Tom Kane and I as leaders of both the Assembly and the Senate. We haven't been at a budget signing in many, many years.
Christie acknowledged the difficult choices and spending priorities presented in the budget, and he took responsibility for them. There is no new broad-based tax in this spending plan, but Democrats argued on the floor last night that a handful of so-called new revenue raiser laws, including one establishing a fee for civil service exams, amount to tax increases.
No, they're not a tax. I mean, you know, they're user fees. In the main, those things were user fees, and folks who use services of government need to start paying for it. I heard the argument last night, and I thought Joe Malone did a great job on the civil service exams. I mean, you got to be kidding me. You know, if someone wants to take a civil service exam 12, 14, 16 times, the taxpayers are the ones who are supposed to subsidize that every time.
And now that the budget has been put to bed, Christie says he plans on doing a hard pivot to the 2.5% hard cap he has been promoting on local spending in order to reduce property taxes. He has already called for a special session of the legislature on Thursday.
Democrats, especially those on the Assembly side, say there is no need for a special session to consider the 2.5% hard cap, which would require amending the Constitution. That's because they passed a 2.9% cap, which is lower than the current Trenton-imposed local spending cap of 4%.
And really, to call it a cap 2.9 bill is a misnomer. It's a 2.9 Swiss cheese piece of legislation. And all you need to know is there's 10 exemptions, 10 exemptions, 5 that you don't even need to ask anybody for permission to exempt, and then another 5, but the beauty is the 10th one. And I hope you all focus on the 10th exemption. It says any expense can be exempt from the cap that is in the general health, welfare, or safety of the municipality. Now let me ask you something. What is spent in a municipality that is not promoting the health, safety, or welfare of the municipality?
In a statement, Democratic Assembly Speaker Sheila Oliver said, quote, "We offered the governor a reasonable alternative that provides a realistic cap immediately, as opposed to an unworkable plan that would not be in effect until next year. We will listen to what the governor has to say, but hope he sees the light and signs our tougher new 2.9% property tax cap into law. We know that property taxes continue to be the top concern of New Jerseyans. That's why on Monday, I assigned nearly 3 dozen property tax reforms to 12 Assembly Democrats for thorough analysis during the summer in preparation for legislative action in the fall."
Speaker Oliver says that we need a long time to consider this. We need to study it. And Senator Sweeney proposed this last Saturday, and they voted on it and approved it yesterday. So I don't know. I write in the same English Senator Sweeney does. So why is mine so complex that it needs a whole summer of study? But Senator Sweeney's, we can get that baby done in less than a week.
According to Christie, the summer session is necessary now in order to get the 2.5% cap on the ballot this fall. He says the deadline for that is July 7th. Zachary Fink, NJN News, South River.